Hey everybody, Justin Cener here. I'm going to tell you why everyone fails, not you of course, but everyone else besides you fails at Shopify. And I've seen it happen to thousands of people at this point now. I've been coaching Shopify for a few years, and there's always 4 reasons why people fail. I'm going to break down each and every one of them, and I'm going to tell you how you can avoid these steps. And I promise you that you probably have either faced some of these situations or you're going to face them as you start getting into Shopify. So let's go over the 4 right now. Okay, so the first one is lack of persistence, right? People just giving up too quickly. They see great results online, they see other people doing huge numbers, and they think it's going to happen overnight. And you can make a lot of money in this business, you can make it quick, but it's not one of those overnight success type things. You need to put in the work. You're probably going to fail at first, that's okay. You're going to test a lot of products with Shopify. That's why print on demand and dropshipping works so well with it, since there's no inventory cost. But you can't just test 2 products and think you're going to make $1 million. You need realistic expectations, right? You can't just go in there and completely give up on everything because you gave it 1 or 2 weeks of effort, right? I've had students that have had 3, 4, 5 failed stores until they finally hit their massive store, and they hit up to $10,000 months, $10,000 days. So there is the upside there, but you have to put in the work. And just because it doesn't work for the first couple of products that you try doesn't mean that the business doesn't succeed. And I say this is not specific to me or anyone's strategies. I just see this all the time. Said, I followed exactly what this person did. I ran ads for 2 days and I didn't make any sales. What's wrong? I mean, 2 days, you're not going to make a lot of money in 2 days, right? Now, when you know what you're doing and you have a great product, you can make a lot of money over 2 days when you have great sales days. But overall, you got to put in some time. You're going to fail at first. That's totally okay. The important thing is you actually learn from your mistakes, right? You say, okay, well, obviously this ad type didn't work or this targeting didn't work, and then you go on from that. But if you're only going to say, I'm giving myself 2 weeks to pay next month's rent through Shopify, you're kind of setting yourself up for a failure right from the start. All right, the next failure point. This is a big one for me. I faced this myself, and people always ask me if I can go back in time when I first started with Shopify and print on demand, what's one thing I would fix? Definitely this, not having a niche focus. Okay, everyone knows, I love selling cat t-shirts, but the point is that I love selling shirts of people or of subjects where people are super passionate about whatever's on the shirt. So anything where it's a passion-based niche focus is going to set you up for success. Now, what I don't want you to do is what I did when I got started, right? I saw this guy selling dog t-shirts and this girl selling cat t-shirts and this guy selling nurse t-shirts, etc. And I wanted to sell all of them at the same time. And what happened was I never developed any type of knowledge about kind of the niches that I was focusing in. I just wanted to say, okay, I'm going to launch this dog shirt or I'm going to launch this cool product that I see on AliExpress, but I don't know anything about the customers, right? Knowing about a good product, that's not enough, right? You definitely need to have a good product, but you need to also ensure that there's going to be a market for it and that you could reach that market. Most likely, you're not going to hit the target market exactly on the first try, right? So we're talking about persistence in the first step or the first failure point. I mean, this kind of goes along with that idea, not having a niche focus. If you only run 10 ads, but they're to 10 different products in 10 different niches, how are you going to be able to learn from what you just did? I mean, every niche is different. So let's say you run 10 products, that's great. If they were all in the dog niche, don't you think you would learn something about those 10 ads? Or don't you think you'd be able to gain some insight about what's working and what isn't working and what targeting gives you the best delivery, the cheapest clicks, the highest CTR, etc. Right? Those are things that you need to know. And if you spread those 10 tests over 10 products, all that information doesn't help each other. It's 10 single data points as opposed to 10 combined data points that tell a big story. So you need to have a niche focus. So that's just one reason, right? Niche focus is going to allow you to succeed easier because you're going to be able to read your ads better. But that's just the start, right? With Shopify, having a niche focus means you have a niche store. So when someone lands on your store, let's say you're selling cat products, right? Cat t-shirts, the entire store is going to say, hey, cat logo, cat domain name, cat banners, obviously cat products, right? So if you love cats and when you're doing the proper ad targeting, you're only going to be targeting cat lovers. When they land on this site, they're going to be like, wow, I'm totally in the right place, right? I love cats. This site clearly loves cats. Here comes my credit card because I'm just feeling like I'm perfectly matched here. So that's another benefit that you get from doing or having this niche focus, right? You're going to be able to have better ad delivery. You're also going to have a higher customer lifetime value because you've actually built a brand about something they love, right? Tons of other reasons as well, but just in terms of failing, right? Don't try to have a million different niches at once. Pick one, focus on it, eat, sleep, breathe the niche. I call it living inside the niche. You have to understand what resonates with your customers, right? A lot of people want to say, oh, I want to do the dog niche. Give me the best product in the dog niche. I don't know what it is, right? And the only thing I tell you, because I know about the dog niche or any niche that I want to be in, I'm going to research it. I'm going to be able to tell you what people find intriguing. Okay, I'm never going to be able to tell you what's going to sell or not. No one could ever know that. Every situation is different. I don't care if I sold 20,000 copies of cat earrings If you try to sell them, you may be able to sell one, you may be able to sell 1,000, you may be able to sell 0, right? Every situation is different. What you need to understand is, overall in the niche, will people like this product? And then you just start testing product over and over, right? That's the whole key, right? You got to find product that you think is intriguing, no inventory when we're dealing with drop shipping or print on demand, and then you simply go ahead and you test those products. So the third one, this is an underrated one. I feel like people just don't think about this at all, which is crazy because we're dealing with physical products. You need to have a great product. I don't know really why I need to talk about that, but this really goes for print on demand. And I really like what Ty Lopez says. It has to pass like the common sense test or like the eyeball test. You go and you look at the store, if the products look ugly, crappy, no one's going to buy them, right? That's, again, it should be a thing that doesn't need to be said, but I see it oftentimes, brand new stores where the designs are super ugly, or you can't read the text on the design for print on demand, or it's a drop shipping product where it's just the pictures are terrible and it looks low quality. People aren't going to buy that stuff anymore, right? They're just not. Now, if you're first to market with something like that a couple years ago, there was, definitely some worse quality products being sold, but don't get fooled anymore. That doesn't work, right? You're going to need to, you need to have a good product, okay? And this, again, this is really also, or mostly for print on demand people, okay? Look at the design with an honest lens, right? Don't just say, oh, because I paid for this design, it's definitely going to work, or because I designed it myself, it's definitely going to work. You need to be honest with yourself, and if you don't want to believe yourself, believe the ad data, right? If you're going to see pretty quickly, you have a low return on investment on your ads, or you have no return on investment on your ads, probably because of your products, right? People will buy good products, and if you do the proper targeting, and if you have a niche focus like we talked about in the previous failing point, right, number 2, then you're going to know your targeting very well, you're going to know your customers very well. It just comes down to the ongoing basis of testing more product. So who's going to have, again, this is such an obvious thing, who's going to have a better chance of success? I'm launching 10 amazing design t-shirt print on demand shirts, or you're launching 10 designs that you got from Fiverr, right? I'm going to succeed every single time. You're going to fail every single time because you don't have a good product, okay? We don't invest in our product in terms of having it physically here. We don't have a stack of t-shirts. We don't have a warehouse full of t-shirts or any of the print on demand products. All you need to invest in is a good design. Good design automatically gives you a good product because we're dealing with high quality print on demand products, right? If we're using Gear Launch, we have t-shirts, apparel, hoodies, canvas prints, all that great stuff that is already, they've already made sure that it's good quality in terms of the product, the physical sense of it. We just need to make it look good. We need to get a good design. So don't be cheap on that, right? Make sure you get a good designer. It's all about product here. And if you think you're going to go to market and make $10,000 overnight by selling a really ugly t-shirt design, I promise you it's not going to happen. Okay, last but certainly not least, fear of scaling, right? I see this a lot, and this is a real failure on an entrepreneur's part here, to be afraid to scale the business. And in print on demand or Shopify in general, really talking about scaling your ads, your ad spend, right? And the best part with Facebook ads or any of these ad platforms is that there's no contracts. You don't say, hey, Mr. Zuckerberg, I'm going to pay you $1 million over the next 5 years. If you want to spend $5 today, that's great. If you want to spend $500 tomorrow, that's great. If you want to spend $5,000 the next day, you can do that as well. So you have total control. Now, that should empower you to really, push the gas when you have something that's good. You really want to push the, pedal to the metal, put the money out there in a smart way, but you don't want to be scared to scale. This whole business is about finding good products. When you have one, you need to attack it. And, I put this on this list. Obviously, you'd love to be in the situation where you found a winning product and you could scale, right? Maybe you're not in that situation yet, but when you get to that point, right, if you really want to advance to making this a life-changing type business, you need to know how to scale. You need to not be afraid to scale, and I definitely was, right? I think, early on, there really weren't too many great strategies about how to scale. You have to experiment, and obviously scaling means putting more money on the line. So I had probably lost out on a lot of money by not scaling the winners that I had originally, just because I didn't move quick enough and I didn't spend enough. So I'm not saying to go overnight, take your $5 ad sets and turn them into 5,000, but you want to have a ton of ad sets. You want to be spending as much as you can in a smart way, because this is really like hindsight 2020 stock market investing. Like everyone would invest in, or even Bitcoin, right? 5 years ago now, if we knew what was going to happen, you'd go back and say, of course I'm going to invest in Bitcoin. Well, now that you have a product that you know is a winner, now's the time to invest your money in it. All ad sets, new ad sets, video ad sets, retargeting, lookalike audience, everything. You want to push it out there at that point. You want to go all in because you have an asset right now that's ready, live on your store, that's making you money. So don't be afraid to scale, right? Now, obviously, at this point, anytime I have a winner, my mindset is I'm incredibly excited to spend as much money as I can. I want to see if I can break my record for how much money I spend on a product or an ad or a campaign because I know the more I spend, the more I'm going to make. Right? Return on investment. I always love illustrating this point, right? Think about this. You got a $5 a day ad set, and you get 500% ROI, right? What does that mean? Well, it basically means you've made 5 times your profit of what you invested. So you make 25 bucks. Okay? Let's say I spend $10,000 in one day in ads, and I get a 10% ROI. So your ROI is 500%, my ROI is 10%. You spent $5, I spent 10,000. I'm walking away with $1,000 profit. You're walking away with $25 profit, right? Obviously, you'd much rather walk away with $1,000 profit, and that's doable because you have an asset, aka a hot product, that can be scaled up to $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 in ad spend, and maybe not over one day, maybe the life of the product, but you get the point, right? You can make a lot of money because you have that asset. So that's a big one, right? When you're in that situation, this is more of a mindset thing. Don't be scared, right? Be excited, right? Get ready to spend money, right? Have business credit cards ready with high limits so you can go and push that needle $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a day if you get something that good. You'd only be hurting yourself to limit your budget, right? Again, you're not going to be tied into this. If it's not working, you're going to stop the ads. But if you spent $10,000 yesterday and you made profit, I guarantee the next day you're going to want to spend more. And that's great because that ROI scale, you're always going to profit more. Even if your ROI goes down, you're going to profit more in terms of dollars and cents the more money you spend. So that's a big one, okay? Don't be scared of scaling. All right, there you have it. 4 ways that I see most people fail on Shopify all the time. No persistence, no niche focus, terrible products, and being afraid to scale. So what do you need to do? You need to avoid all 4 of those points. You need to make sure that you're keeping those in mind, that you have this in your mindset right now that you're not going to fail. This is how people fail, so I need to avoid those points. So I hope this helps you make a lot of money, and I'll talk to you real soon.